This has to be one of my favorite recent builds. I think it turned out great. So we got going here is kind of an M4 morphed into kind of a CQB AK74U is, I guess, kind of what it is. So I think it turned out really nice. I'm going to tell you about it, tell you what I did, the different parts and pieces I used, and that kind of thing. So first, let's talk about mechanical. So we've got your M4 receiver right here. And this was like a standard Vosswooen or Anstoy or Vassvarn M4A1. I gutted it basically, put in metal gears, a high-speed motor. It shoots really fast. And then I replaced everything else in there. I also replaced the spring to a larger spring. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what size the spring is because it was not labeled, but it was definitely bigger than the stock one, and it was definitely an aftermarket one because you can tell by the quality. So I did all that. I put in a ported cylinder too because we got a much shorter barrel here. Barrel actually terminates like right about there. And so went ahead with a ported one. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't do any equations with the barrel length to the port like technically you're supposed to. I just said this barrel's short. This port's not huge. Might as well just use it, right? It's probably close. I don't know. So went ahead with that, and it turned out pretty good. So I'm hitting highs. Currently, the first round of tests about 280 FPS, so I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I'd like to see a little higher, and it may get there. It does seem, sometimes the first round of tests are just lower, and then the more you use it, you start to get a little higher FPS. And I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but that does tend to happen. So as I continue to do it, to play with it a little bit, and once we get to that demo, it'll be interesting to see if it's still just at that same point. Either way, I'm pretty happy with that. So that talks about the mechanical. Now, since this blaster doesn't have priming, I just went ahead and kind of did some cosmetic changes here. Just, again, kind of an homage to the AK-47 with these type of knobs here on the charging handle. But I actually just you could pull it back, but it doesn't do anything. And since it was painted, it doesn't like to pull smoothly anyway. So that's really just for looks. So the other stuff I did here was I went ahead, and there's a really cool file on Thingiverse that allows you to adapt an M4 to basically AK-style handguards. Right? So that's actually this one piece here. And that's from a designer on there named Master Dang. I believe he's Japanese because all his descriptions are in Japanese, or it could be Mandarin as well. But that's where I got that piece from. And then actually this bottom piece was a bottom handguard piece, an SLR AK-74 handguard piece that he had as well. So I basically took that, kind of mated it to this receiver attachment piece, and then also found another piece here that I could manipulate so that we could have the full handguard there. So I combined that all, printed that all as one piece, obviously for strength and ease of, installation, that kind of thing. So that's what I did there. So let's check out the front. And then this is, maybe some of you noticed, this is actually a front piece from a SCAR V2. So I had an extra piece laying around. I thought I'd go ahead and modify that. So we've got that modified to fit on there nicely. And then I actually used an actual metal adapter with metal threads for that right there, because I had one of those. Those are available from like X-Force Tac USA, Zendua Toys, basically a lot of the sites. And those are made specifically for like the SCAR V2 or the M4A1. Those will fit on the end of that barrel, that 19 millimeter barrel, and that'll allow you to have a 14 millimeter thread. So did that there, and then made this kind of slightly recessed, fake suppressor that kind of has that PBS design, which was a design for AK-47s, but a much smaller, simplified version. Kind of Zenetico kind of looking forward hand grip there, which is kind of the same. Again, that's a very AK-47 style grip. So that's what I did there. In the back, just went with a CQB style stock that I already had and added a sling to it. So this is a nice sling from Soma. Soma and VVAG are the same company. They're both on Amazon. They make some nice paracord slings like this. So that's what I did there, and they're just clipped in here. So that is the build out. Put a little Pinty optic on there. That's just a nice, not too expensive an optic. I think something like that's around $35. So that kind of tells you the full build plan that I went through. Again, painted out the receiver, obviously did black on the printed piece, and then did, again, the desert tan on a few other pieces there as well. I think it looks really cool. It's a fun little blaster. You're going to get to see when I show the demo that it does shoot super fast. Again, around 280 FPS, so not bad. Maybe we'll get a little higher as I experiment with different gel balls too. So let me know what you guys think. Comments, questions, post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways. Thanks.